Okay, so we move on. So our bank, we have our bank value. What's the next thing? What's the next thing?
Next is equity and liabilities.
Equity and liabilities. Be careful about equity and liabilities. We're only taking the parent equity. We said all the subsidiary and all the parent, but only the assets and liabilities of the subsidiary, not the equity. So we're not going to take. So for the ordinary shares, we're taking only the parent own. What's the parent ordinary share?
It's 40.
40,000. Does parent have share premium? No. No, right?
No.
Okay, so all we'll have is retained earnings now for parent. And there's, like we said, for assets where goodwill comes in, there's something that will come into the equity for the subsidiary. What is that? Sorry, what may be a statement or in our public?
Yeah.
So let's say will be worth. We won't put anything in it. We just want the final answer. So we just and then our retained earnings. Retained earnings. Then we just pick a figure. So retained earnings was right. Therefore, I said something about you. Retained earnings for now. For year. Not for year. That's what it's for. Right?
Yeah.
Will be but one and then we don't note again. So what's the trade of
13,000.
and then
100.
Okay, so we're going to continue on one consolidation. The important now at the end. Now we define information and then we start with the hardest part of the question really. So the position strata produce profit or loss a net loss after 2 million at that accept the basis pre and post acquisition of strata profit at the end of the year. So let's come and do this. Let's level of, and please if you just pay attention, it's not as ugly as I might be complaining. I hope at the end of the day you're just like, and so why were you saying this was hard? Because it was very simple. Okay, so let's look at this now. It's just if you get the logic of it and you're not trying to memorize it, then it's simple. God, man, this is my line now. It's supposed to be a straight line now, but it didn't work. Okay, so we have 3 things now. So we have beginning of the year. So let me call that beginning. Because it's a 6 months acquisition, that's why we're doing it like this. So our acquisition date and our reporting date or year end, anyone you call it is fine. So our beginning of the year was 1st April, right?
Yeah.
So that's 1st April. That's 2012, Abi?
Yes.
Okay, then our acquisition date was what?
1st October.
1st October. So 1st October. So that's 10, Abi. Yeah, one beautiful girl's birthday. So 12. And then our reporting date is 31st March.
March.
Yeah.
Yes.
2013.
March 2013. Now, yeah, this is important, but not really. Let's do our work now. So let me start. What did they tell us? They told us if we go back to the subsidiaries, retained earnings and profit. Let's see. What did they tell us? What was the retained earnings at the beginning? We're looking at the subsidiary because we want to use
At
that.
the beginning.
4,000 loss.
4,000.
4,000. So this is minus 4,000. Or I could have put it in brackets. So that's 4,000. What else did they tell us? They told us that for the whole year, they made a profit of 8,000. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come down and draw this. So for this whole year, they made a profit of 8,000, right?
Yeah.
Now come and see America. I wonder Okay, so that's 8,000 now.
Mhm.
Let me make sure that this 1,000, let it not be my writing that is causing confusion, because we have other things to bother about. So 8,000 for the whole year, that's our profit. Now, we go to the note and let's see what the note told us. What did the note tell us? The note says that Strata produced a draft profit or loss and the parent agreed with it. And he said that at the date of acquisition, it had made a 2 million loss. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So it had made a 2 million loss at the date of acquisition. So if we do this, that is not its retained earnings. It made a loss of minus 2,000. Now this is where it has set. So for the whole year, it made a loss of minus 2,000. Now, graphically, this is what is important to us. So what was...
Date of acquisition. You say whole year made loss of 2,000 or no?
No,
As a date of
no, from the beginning of the year to the date of acquisition, it had made a loss of 2,000. So what was the retained earning figure at acquisition is the question I'm asking now.
2,000.
minus
Huh?
minus 6.
Minus
6,000.
So minus 6,000. This will be the first time in history that any class is going to not have problem with this. So please ask your question, because there's no class. It's not possible. You're not Oludo if you ask. Ask the question. Don't follow them and be dragging things that I don't know for them. Okay, now if you're with me at that point, and we know that, what did they tell us? Oh no, what did they tell us? What did they tell us? Let's be sure about this. What did they tell us? They told us that for the year ended March, retained earning for the year ended, it was 8,000. So they're telling us now that this is 8,000, right?
Yeah. So it's 2K now.
So what was the figure from here to here?
From minus 6 to plus 8.
Is that really plus 8? Let's be sure of what they're telling us in the question. What did they tell us? They said that the retained earnings at the beginning of the year was minus 4, and then the profit for the whole year. So this is for the year. No, that's for the whole year. Was 8,000. So this is not really 8,000, is it?
Retained earnings, but profit for the year will be would have covered up for that swallowed this minus 6. Now, if they retain any at the end of the year, retained any at the end of the year is 8,000.
That's not retained earning. That is for the year. For the year means profit for the year.
Okay, for the yeah, the year. Okay, yeah. For the
That's
year.
profit for the year. So the profit for the year was 8,000. What would have been the value at the end of the year? What would be our earnings?
2,000. Maybe
6,000.
You started with 4. Wait, I'm coming. You started with 4,000 loss. You made profit of 8,000 for the year. How much will be your retained earnings at the end of the year?
4,000.
If you say anything and I open my eye, you will change the figure again.
No, it's based on the way when you restructure, it makes new sense.
Okay. So if you had a minus 4,000 at the beginning of the year,
14.
and you made 8,000 for the whole year, how much would you have at the end of the year?
4,000.
4,000 now.
2,000.
4,000
No, now, if you, in my own opinion, no, since we have lost at the beginning of the year, then 2,000 in between at the point of acquisition, and we have profit already started 8,000. So mind you, this 4 and 2, they already lost. Why can't you take out the 6,000 from the profit, which is 8,000, to get 2,000? It's my own opinion, no, but please, if I'm wrong, kindly put me through.
Okay, what it is, and please follow me on this thought. You had minus 4 at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
You made 8 throughout the whole year. So it means that, first of all, 4 out of the 8 will use to wipe out the 4 loss that you had. And then there will be 4 remaining. So it means that there will be 4,000 positive by the end of the year. You started with -4. You made 4 through, you made 8 throughout the year. So you're going to have compensated for that 4 loss and then made another 4 for this year. So your retained earnings at the end of the year should be 4.
But they said extra 2 now in the notes.
Now come with me. Come with me for that extra 2. That extra 2, they said between 1st April, and I'm using the dates now. I've taken all the information I need from what they said, and I'm showing you what is happening. Between 1st April
At the
and
date
1st
of acquisition.
October, at the date of acquisition, that is by 1st October, they had made -2 added to the -4 that they started with. So much so that they would have -6 at the date of acquisition.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
in another way, they now told us that they made 8,000 for the whole year. So it means that if they made -2 for the first half of the year, then how much did they make for the second part of the year to carry them from -6 to +4, or to carry them from, even though they made -2, even though they made -2 for the first part of the year, they made a total of +8 for the whole year. How much did they make for the second part of the year?
10.
Exactly.
All right. Your head is there.
All right. So this is something I won't mind telling you to go back and look at, because this is very simple if you think about it logically. Okay, so ask your question if you have a question. Or let me go around it again. They first told us they made -4. This is a very rare thing. It doesn't happen. Usually they will tell you to assume that profits accrue evenly throughout the year. So if they have accrue evenly, then if they made 8,000 over this year, then they made 4,000 in half of the year and 4,000 in the remaining half. That's an accruing evenly. However, this question specifically says that they made a loss of 2,000 for the first part of the year, for the first half of the year, since acquisition was done mid-year, because it's a 6 months acquisition. So if they made 2,000 loss in the first part of the year and they made 8,000 profit over the year, that means they made 10,000 in the second part of the year, so that in total they now made a positive 8,000 for the whole year. Now, if we're looking at from the beginning, they had a -4 at the beginning, and they made 8 positive for the whole year. So it means by the end of the year, they would have used this 8 to wipe out the 4, and what will be remaining at the end of the year will be 4,000. Is this clear, Kingsley?
Yeah. No, I'm clear.
I think
I'm not clear.
This is mathematics.
Okay, let me.
Like,
My
sorry,
issue is not the mathematics, it's the logic behind it. I don't understand what is going on. Let me explain what.
I got this one, this 2 and 10 and 8. Is that okay? I want to just like we had a 2,000
I'm barely hearing you. You've shifted away from 5G. Go to 5G near your house again. No, the 5G is in front. Just go near that 5G place in your house. Okay, we're not hearing you. I really wish we can, because I want to hear your own. Is that my name that they called like that?
No, I'm shouting, but can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
please.
No problem.
Your last explanation for this 2 and 10 was clear, but the one for this 4,000 is complicated. Now, you said that we had, from the question, a loss of 4,000. Then
at the beginning, we had a loss of 4,000.
Yes, then we also had. So
then we had what? I didn't hear you. I didn't hear that part.
Profit of 8,000.
A profit for the whole year of 8,000. Yes. So we had a loss at the beginning. Our retained earning at the beginning of the
loss.
Our opening loss. Our opening retained earning was a loss of 4,000. However, we made a
Yes.
profit of
Yes, at the date of acquisition.
No, we have not gotten to the
At the
date of
date of-
acquisition.
Sorry?
We have not gotten, okay.
Oh, she's explaining. She's
Okay,
explaining.
so you
What's
finished, we have agreed with you. We had a loss of 4,000 at the beginning and a profit of 8,000 for the whole year. Okay, now you went to the date of acquisition. Go on.
Okay. I'm trying to make you understand that I understood this, your last explanation for the 2000, 2010. So let me
Okay.
explain, just like you said.
Okay.
Now, at the date of acquisition, we had a lot of 2,000 naira. Then at the end of the year, we had a profit of
Dollars.
8,000. Logically,
Yes.
since I have a loss of 2,000 at the date of acquisition, and at the end of the year, I was comfortable having a profit of 8,000. That means I've
No,
already paid.
you didn't have 8,000 at the end of the year. You had 8,000 for the whole year.
Beginning.
Okay, please go on.
April 2012, at the beginning.
I didn't hear you.
1st of April 2012, that's the beginning of the year for 8,000.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I said that if I for me to have cleared my loss and have a standing balance of 8,000 as profit, obviously I had 10,000 naira.
Obviously, you made 10,000 for the second part of the year. For the second part of the year. Yes.
Yes. So that's the logic I understood in your explanation. But for this 4,000 naira, I don't understand it.
Which 4,000? The 4,000 at the end of the year.
Yes, this one at the end of the year, I don't understand that one. But one for this 2,000, 8,000 that you gave, I understood it.
Okay, let me start
you
again.
first forgive us the 4,000 naira profit. So you now use what's called QUESTINtel. When you ask the question of this 2,000, 8,000, you said it's 10,000. So some persons are quite confused. So I was trying to understand what you were saying, but I now thought deeply of it. I don't understand what you said, but I don't understand this 4,000 naira profit at the end of the year.
All right, let me try.
Okay, let me say my own. The 4,000 at the end of the year under this 31st March 2013 is a retained earnings, the addition of the profits to the retained earning that they opened with, which was a -4. The -4
absolutely
plus the 8 will give us a closing balance of 4,000 as retained earning for the year. While 8,000 is the profit that was made between April 1st to 31st March 2013. That's the 8,000. But at close of the figure will be the final figure on your statement as retained earning for the year ended 31st March 2013 will be 4,000 because you made 8,000 and you opened with -4,000.
Yes.
So -4,000 plus the 8,000 you made this year will give you a positive 4,000.
So you're not taking cognizance of this 2,000, this 2,000
the
loss.
2,000 loss at acquisition.
They are different.
You're not taking cognizance
the 2,000 on your way from April 1st to March on the road, you made loss. Then later business now became flourishing. Then business turned around and you made from after acquisition, maybe somehow you now made extra. Instead of making loss from loss, you now made 10,000 again. But earlier in the year, the earlier part of the year, from 1st April to October, it was -2,000 you made for that year. So when this first part, -2,000 plus the 10,000 you made at the end of the year, that you made at the second part of the year, it gives you 8,000.
Okay, so because along the way, since you made 10,000, you've taken off the 2,000, your 8,000 stands, so you recognize at the end of the year.
Remember that this 10,000 is not in the question. Remember that the plus 4,000 is not in the question. Remember that the -6,000 is not in the question. There are a few things they gave us. Let's work. It would just be a very, very significant waste of time to clean this thing and start it again. However, please just follow me on some things that are important. At the beginning of the year, retained earnings and profit for the year are two different things. Retained earnings is how much do you have at a particular point in time. Profit for the year, the second figure that they will usually give you, is the amount you made over that year. So now let's start with this. At the beginning of the year, you had a -4,000. That's what the question says. So let me pick the things that the question has told me. At the beginning
So we
of the
keep
year,
that
you
one.
had minus 4,000. That's straightforward. That's directly in the question. They now told you that for the year, for the whole year, you made a profit of 8,000, right?
Yeah.
Now, it can be easy for me to say, if I had minus 4 at the beginning of the year, and for the whole year I made plus 8,000, it means that by the end of the year, I would have plus 4,000. Because minus 4 plus 8 will give me plus 4. Now, why I've carried this thing and jumping like this is because I'm telling you that this is a movement. This is all through the year that 8,000 was made. They didn't tell you that you had 8,000 at the end of the year. They told you you made 8,000 throughout the year. That's why they said for the year ended as compared to as at. As at means at a particular point in time, this is what I have. For the year ended means over the whole year, this is what I made. So if I had minus 4 at the beginning and then I made 8,000, it means I'll have plus 4 at the end. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now, we can now easily get at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year at reporting. However, because of the way we work, we need what it was at acquisition. And that was where they set the trap for us. So now with that trap, they came to the note and they started discussing with us. And they told us that for the year, from the beginning of the year up till the date of acquisition, that they made a loss of minus 2,000. So if they made a loss of minus 2,000 for the first part of the year, for the first half of the year, if they had minus 4 before and they made minus 2 for the first part of the year, it means they were deeper in negative at the date of acquisition. So they had minus 6. That's minus 2 plus, sorry, minus 4 plus minus 2 gives you minus 3. Those are all things that are important. This 10 that we got here is unimportant because anyhow, if you're able to arrive at minus 6 at the date of acquisition and plus 4 at the date of reporting, then the difference between minus 6 and plus 4, you first cover up for that minus 6 and add 4 to it. That means you made 10. That 10 is not very important. It's just, I'm just completing the statements that we've made from what the scenario has told us. So one of the things I feel that is important is for you to sit down and look at this thing again carefully.
Get it now. Okay.
All right. So these are our figures, the figures that we, from this story that they've told us. It will be something that will be great for you to sit down and really consider because it's an interesting story that you can use to get an understanding of what happened or how this kind of question can be set in another scenario. All right, and those people that are very quiet, Josephine, Esther, do you understand what we are saying? Ella,
I'm following. I don't understand, but I'm following.
Those two statements cannot
because I don't want to. I don't want to keep going back and forth. I don't want to keep dragging people back and forth. Just continue. If I have any questions to ask you, I ask in private.
Okay. All right. So let's go back. Like I expected, this was going to take us the whole of this section of the class. The important thing is I really hope that you've taken, that you can understand it to some degree, because that's.
I think the diagram did not even, it even confused me the more, but I understand it now. This second explanation.
I think it is impossible for you to have understood it without that diagram. I can't have just talked to you about it and you would have understood it. I think, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I came and did it on Excel that you would understand it. All right. So we'll just keep that one hanging there for further reference and for future reference. Okay, so let's go back up and let's continue our work. Okay, now that we have that, we can do what we need to do with it. And from things. So our tasks, the entities that we have on shares, sets of Now, remember, your examiners, they will never give you that we're interested in. So now, the examiner has said that change the ordinary share to be same at acquisition and the same at reporting. Sorry, we've talked about that number a number of times. I think it was 2,000, right?
20.
20,000. So and at reporting. Same for that work for this retained earnings. The retained earnings at acquisition we said was what?
4,000. Okay, at acquisitions minus 6,000.
That's why we went. That's why we went to that one. Minus
4,000.
So minus 6 and 4, right? Okay. Now have our value adjustment. So fair value adjustment. So we knew that question really, and it was a way for me to write that. Right. So information, the 2,000 whole story. I don't know how I can do that on Excel, that to be clear. So all we just need to do is to refer to. I say that somewhere. I put that? Refer to diagram. So if you're carrying using the that of acquisition at the date of acquisition, right? That's 1st October.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our plant. So we have plant here. 3,000. Is that it? That's what they told us, right? And then we do our addition for that one. If we want to think about this, how many years remaining?
3.
So our depreciation of that plant now, if you think about it, will be 3 divided by 3 divided by 6 over 12. It's only 6 months. So remember, I've put this negative so that I can use a trick. Now, what this implies now is that at the end of the year, this will be equal to this figure, and it has to be minus because depreciation is a subtraction. So minus this figure. That's it now. And that should be our figure. So now, because it is less, the depreciation is actually increasing the value in the sense that the value is getting, the negative figure is getting a lower negative. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying at all. We can take it the same way we take depreciation. What I don't want you to do is to write 3,500 here, which is 3,000 minus 3,000 plus minus 500 will give you 3,500. What it is doing is, because it is negative, now they said that our plant was lower than its carrying amount. So over time, it will start going to 0. Just like depreciation is, just like the depreciation of a positive takes that positive value to 0, that's how the depreciation of a negative will also be taking that negative to 0. At the end of the economic useful life, at the end of the economic useful life of the plant's value will be 0. You understand that now?
Yeah.
Right?
No, I don't get. But minus 3 minus 500. Supposed to be 3,500 minus 3,500.
Minus 3,000 minus 500.
Minus 500.
Minus.
Okay.
Minus 500.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it's true.
Or if you will, I can change this figure to positive, and that way.
Oh, don't change. Leave it.
And don't change the depreciation.
You understand? All
right. Now, that's basically that. That's all we need to see there. Now, the question is technical. It's not difficult, but when I found out that this was the question you were doing, I was not very excited because this is pushing you to the deep end. I'd have rather started with something
Seriously.
Something soft, so that at least I'll get your buy-in before we now start doing. But this might be around one of the hardest questions we are going to do in the question, and that's why they call it paradigm. They want to change your mindset. If you know the meaning of paradigm, they want to arrange your heads. They want to range your heads.
Paradigm shifting moment.
And they want to shift your paradigm. That's the idea. So that you know that you started. All right. So that's that. That's all for that particular part. Now the only thing to remember is that this figure, sorry, I've overclicked though. Okay, please remember one thing, that as you start getting more and more comfortable, as you start getting to the end of your understanding, please remember that this 2.5, any fair value adjustment would adjust the part of the financial statement that it reflects in. So in this case now, what we'll do is to go to PPE and say PPE now equal to, so if you will, we're debiting and so we'll now, the value at reporting, remember your reporting is at reporting that you're presenting your financial